The next 2 days were filled with quiet movement. Not arguments. Not negotiations. Movement. Claire began packing first. Not aggressively, not dramatically, just methodically. Closet doors opened. Hangers slid across metal rods. Drawers emptied into neat piles on the bed. Evan moved slower. He packed in stages. A few shirts. Then stopped. Sat down. Stared at the wall. I didn't offer help. This wasn't eviction. It was consequence. Wednesday evening, I was in the kitchen when Claire walked in holding a stack of mail. "This came for you," she said, handing it over unopened. A small gesture. But noticeable. "Thank you," I replied. She hesitated before speaking again. "We'll be out by Saturday." "I understand." She studied my face. "You really aren't going to ask us to stay?" "I already did," I said calmly. She frowned slightly. "When?" "When I asked for respect." Silence. That word again. Respect. It had become the dividing line in this house. Later that night, Evan knocked on my bedroom door. "Can I come in?" "Yes." He stepped inside slowly. "I signed the lease," he said. I nodded. "Is it nice?" I asked. "It's modern," he replied with a faint smile. "Open floor plan, stainless steel everything." "That sounds practical." He exhaled softly, hearing the echo of his own language. "Mom," he said after a moment. "Do you hate her?" "No." He seemed surprised. "She tried to push you out." "Yes." "And you don't hate her?" "I don't waste energy on hate," I replied. "I adjust." He absorbed that quietly. "I should have stopped it sooner," he said. "Yes," I answered. There was no anger in my tone. Just truth. He sat in the armchair near the window, the same chair he had sat in a week ago. "I didn't think you'd stand your ground." "I didn't either," I admitted softly. That caught his attention. "You didn't?" "No," I said. "I thought grief might make me smaller." "And it didn't?" "It made me clearer." He nodded slowly. "I don't want to lose you over this." "You won't," I said, "unless you choose distance." He looked relieved, but not entirely. "Claire thinks you'll never trust her again." "I won't," I said gently. He winced slightly. "But that doesn't mean I won't be civil." He stood after a long pause. "I hope this gets easier." "It will," I said, "once expectations match reality." The next morning, the house sounded different. Suitcases rolling down the hallway. Closet doors shutting for the last time. Boxes stacked near the front door. I stayed upstairs while they worked. Not out of avoidance. Out of boundary. Around noon, Claire knocked on my door. "Yes?" She stepped inside carefully. "We're leaving tomorrow morning," she said. "I know." She glanced around the room briefly. Then back at me. "I never meant to make you feel disposable." "You didn't make me feel disposable," I said calmly. "You treated me that way." She swallowed. "There's a difference." "Yes," I replied, "there is." Silence settled between us. "I thought we were planning our future," she said quietly. "You were," I answered, "just without including me." Her shoulders lowered slightly. "I didn't expect the trust." "I know." "And the foundation clause?" "That was Harold." She nodded once. "He really loved you." "Yes," I said. That was the end of it. No apology. No dramatic reconciliation. Just acknowledgement. That evening, the three of us ate dinner together one last time in that configuration. No raised voices. No tension. Just a quiet understanding. Evan cleared his throat halfway through. "I'll still come by," he said. "You're welcome here," I replied. Claire looked down at her plate. "You're welcome too," I added. She glanced up, surprised. "Even after all this?" "Yes." She didn't respond. Because she understood something now. Welcome is not the same as control. The next morning, I stood by the window as the moving truck pulled into the driveway. Boxes carried out. Furniture wrapped. Voices low and efficient. Evan paused at the front door before stepping outside. He turned back. "Mom." "Yes." "I'm sorry." I know, I said. Claire stood beside him. Goodbye, she said carefully. Goodbye, I replied. No hostility. No bitterness. Just distance. The truck doors closed. The engine started. And just like that, the house grew quiet again. But this time, the quiet felt different. Not threatened. Not temporary. Stable. I walked downstairs slowly and stood in the middle of the living room. The air felt lighter. Not because they were gone. But because I had not been. I ran my hand along the back of the couch Harold once insisted we keep. Even when Claire called it outdated. This house isn't modern, she had said. No, he had replied. It's ours. I stood there for a long time, letting the silence settle properly. They had believed removal was simple. That grief would bend me. That timelines could be imposed. They were wrong. Not because I fought loudly. But because I refused quietly. And sometimes, refusal is enough.